Hey guys, Christine here from Portable Entrepreneur. I know we often think a lot about the questions we should ask clients, like when we get a client on the phone, what do I say? What do I do? But before you even get to that point, I want to make sure that you are asking yourself questions about any client before you take them on. And I know this can be really hard to do when all you want is a client. You want your very next client. You want to get some revenue coming into your business. You want to get going. It's very, very easy to take on any client that comes your way. With each client that you take on, there is an opportunity cost to that. So every time you choose to bring on a client that maybe is paying you less than what you want, or maybe doesn't really fit into the type of client that you want to serve when your business is, successful, then that is an opportunity cost for you. The more and more you get bogged down in the type of work you don't want to do, working with clients who don't pay you enough or don't represent the type of work or clients you want to serve and do, then that is distracting you from the great clients that are still out there and need your help, that are looking for you because you can't see them. You're too bogged down. So what I want to make sure that you're doing is that you are setting up your own criteria for a client so that when you have a client, you can make sure that they match the criteria that you've set for yourself for every client to really match up against, to make sure they're the type of person and type of business that you really want to work with. So we're going to be looking at 7 different questions you should be asking yourself before taking on any client. And the first question is really a rather easy one. It is, do I want to work with this client? Okay. Do you actually like them? Did you enjoy the conversation? Would you welcome more of them, or would you dread them, or just hope there's as few as possible? So having a genuine interest in someone, genuinely liking them, can actually be one of your criteria. Now, the second question you want to ask yourself is this client ready to start? And by starting, you want to make sure not only are they actually ready for their project to begin now or in the very near future, but also are they able to pay? Do they have what they need to actually get this project started? So as you are going along in your conversation, simply asking a question like, how quickly would you like to see these results? And then this will start the conversation around, well, this is the time frame I'm hoping for, or this might be in the way, this is what's coming up. But if they're not bringing anything that could stop them from achieving those results, you can ask them, do you have the time available now? Or are you able to dedicate time now to working on this, to providing feedback, to doing X, Y, or Z that's going to be required to get you the results you want by such and such date? And this will really just open up that dialogue to see, are they actually really ready to start? Now, the third thing you want to ask yourself is, can I help this business? Can you actually add value? So a lot of the questions that you should be asking are informational. You want to gather information about the business. You want to find out not only what they do and who they serve and their prices and all of this. You want to find out, what are their goals? Why are they coming to you in the first place? What are they trying to achieve? Do they need more leads? If so, how many? Do they need more customers, more sales? If so, how many customers? And what kind of sales, what kind of revenue are they looking for? Or what do they want to gain from your work? And that way you're going to see what it is that they need and know, can you actually help them achieve that? So if you can, well, that's going to be a winner, obviously, for both of you. Now, the fourth question to ask yourself is, do we share the same vision? So are you and your client on the same page? Now, I've had clients approach me where I can remember this one woman in particular, all over the place. She knew she wanted a website. I wanted to deliver a website for her, but we did not share at all the same vision for getting there. She was set on being able to do it herself. She was wanting to draw everything out and find out all this information about websites and try to put it together for me, almost like I was a student. It was awful. And so that was someone where I was simply, well, we don't share the same vision. We both want the same outcome for you. We understood the products that she was trying to sell on her website, but we really couldn't come together to create a cohesive vision to make that a reality. So we just had to separate at that point, because that went back to even number one. I don't even want to work with you based on how you're trying to get this done, because we should simply just don't share the same vision, and it is so far apart. Now, the fifth question you want to ask yourself is this project worth it financially? And I want to add in a little caveat to this. Is this worth it financially in the short term? And is this financially worth it in the long term? When you don't have a lot of clients, it is very, very easy to get short-sighted. Oh, I have someone in. Yes, I'm going to get this in. I'm going to get this new business, new revenue. This is great. But by taking on that particular client, is that going to help you in the long term as well? Sometimes we will take on those clients. This is where I was talking about the opportunity cost. Sometimes we will take on the clients just to get income now, even though we know it is the wrong type of client. It is not good revenue really for us. It's not going to help us build our portfolio. It's not going to help us learn anything. There's so many things that are wrong with the project, but because we are thinking about finances in the short term, we do it. So I want you to make sure, is it worth it financially for you to take it on, both in the short term and in the long term? There is another client out there. There is one who is willing to pay what you want. You just have to be open to receiving that person, to seeing that opportunity in front of you, but you can't when you're bogged down, when you're in a project that isn't financially worth it to you. Now, the sixth question to ask yourself is, could this client possibly be a long-term relationship? Now, you're never going to know for sure if this is going to work out to be a long-term client, but by you liking the person, them liking you, starting to jive and build that trust, for them sharing that same vision, for you looking at where do they want to go now in the short term? Why do they want this work now? Where are they trying to go a year from now, 3 years, 5 years from now? Is this something that you can continue to help them grow over time? Is there a way that you can provide an initial service to them? And do you see opportunities to continue to serve them past that? It is so much easier to work with a client who is already your client. You don't have to go through the whole entire process that you would with a new prospect. So anything that you can do to bring on a client that is going to be a long-term client for you, the better. So just something to consider as you go. Now, the seventh and final question that you may want to ask yourself is, what will I learn from this project? Is this type of project going to help me get closer? If I'm not already there, will this project help me get closer to working with the ideal client that I want to, and on the ideal projects that I want to be working on? There can be a lot of learning opportunities in your work, whether you're doing web design, SEO, any type of digital marketing. You can constantly be learning, and you really always are as you're working with different types of businesses. So if you are not at the point where you're working with your ideal clients, you're really trying to build your way up to that, is the project that you're taking on going to get you one step closer? Now, one of the reasons that I want you to ask yourself these questions is because I want you to start to qualify some of the clients to make sure that they match you. They match your business and where you want to go. And it's so easy to get bogged down in the short-term outcomes. What am I getting from this right now? How much income can I get right now? Am I getting a new client right now? But I want you to really think longer term than that. What is the opportunity cost by taking on this client, and how is this going to impact me in the long term? Is this helping me get one step closer to where I want to be? And if not, I encourage you to pass, because there absolutely will be another opportunity right there for you. So let me know in the comments below. Do you already ask yourself certain questions? Do you match the clients that are coming in to any sort of criteria? And if not, what questions would you like to start asking yourself when you have a new prospect? So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop those below as well, as always. And please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.